Hey everybody, how you doing? My name is Grant, and today I am 202 days sober. I quit drinking Christmas Day or in 2020, and as we all know, Christmas Day is December 25th, so 2020. I haven't uploaded a video for over a week now. I had a relative pass away on July 7th, and so I've been dealing with that. And so that's what I wanted to make this video about, because it's tough to obviously when people we love, when they pass away, and a lot of times we look for ways to cope. And as you know, or you must be aware, or have experienced it, a lot of us will turn to alcohol or some type of drug for a coping mechanism. And I just want to tell you a little story about someone else that passed away in my life in 2008, and how I dealt with that situation versus how I'm dealing with the situation of last week. So let's go back in time. 2008, March 15th, I got a text message from my sister saying that my mother passed away. I knew that she was going to be passed away. She was in the hospital on life support, and she was about 1,600 miles away. And I knew I wouldn't make it there in time, even though she was on life support, so I said that it was okay for them to take her off without me being there. It was one of the toughest decisions I've ever made in my life. Not to get to see her, tell her in person that I loved her. But there's nothing you can do. Once someone's gone, they're gone, and you don't get a second chance. So you just have to move forward. My mom passed away, and she was a heavy drinker, and she took pills, not like a junkie type pills, but might as well have been. They were prescribed medications, and I'm pretty sure she went overboard on them, and she would hide alcohol. So when she passed away, I immediately turned to alcohol. I'm sure I was drunk that night. I remember it was a Saturday. And I was drunk for a long time, and that's how I dealt with it. And it never really got better, and I drank all these years. I met my current wife in January of 2009, and I was still drinking, and then we would drink together, and then when she was gone, I would drink by myself, and that's how I was dealing with it. And the pain never really went away, and I still deal with that. I've never really resolved my grief or anything with my mom passing, and it might be too because it was my mother, right? It's a pretty big deal. And she was only 61 at the time when she passed, so she's quite young. So now that's then, and I was drinking, and I was just going downhill. I was eating worse, and up until that point, I was doing fairly well, health-wise. And then now we fast forward to about 6 weeks ago. My father-in-law went into the hospital because of the way he was feeling and not eating and losing weight. And so we find out he's got cancer in a few places, and he ends up passing away on July 7th. Wow. My wife is devastated. My son, who's 9 years old, who was his grandpa's little buddy, is devastated. And why did that have to happen? So, pretty sad moment again. He was 75, a bit older, but once you get up around my age, 75 doesn't look that old anymore. 56. I don't recall if I mentioned that at the beginning of the video, but I'm not even sure why I say that. I just want to connect with you guys so how old I am, and you can see where I'm at. But now this time, I love the guy, and it hurts that he's gone. There's not as much of a connection between him and I versus my mother and I, but I'm devastated that my son and my wife are so upset, and it's a lot to deal with. And when it comes to alcohol and coping mechanism, I haven't wanted to have a drink at all. I thought I was going to. The day when he died last Wednesday, July 7th, I thought, this is the day I'm going to have a few drinks. But I didn't. If I felt like I really needed to, just to zone out, I might have done it. But I held strong, and because I had already quit quite a while ago, 6 months or more previous, it helped me deal with the situation. It still hurts, but I'm probably not as emotional as I would have been if I had been drinking, because I find that when I drink, your emotions are just out of whack. You're either angry, or you're sad, or you're too happy, or something. It's just a roller coaster. And then I thought, well, now his funeral isn't until this Saturday. It's a week and a half later because he's cremated, and I don't know. They're Catholic, and it's something to do with the priests being away for a week or something. But so I thought, well, maybe I'd have drinks on that day if I have to give the eulogy. But I'm not giving the eulogy, and I'm not having drinks. I'm going to deal with it. I don't drink. This is me now. I don't drink. This is how I deal with problems. And I have to tell you, the fact that I hadn't been drinking for 6 months previous to this happening now this time has made it so much easier to handle the situation. I don't know how to put it into words, but it's something you have to experience. Once you quit alcohol or whatever drug of choice you have, coping is much easier. In 2019, I had quit alcohol for the whole year. I had quit Christmas Day 2018, and then I hadn't drank all of 2019 up until January 1st, 2020. But anyways, back it up a bit. In the summer of 2019, so it was, in August, so 8 months into not drinking again, I lost my job. My job was abolished. Normally I would turn to the bottle, and that's old habits die hard, right? But I didn't, and I dealt with it, and I sure was upset. And what do? I'm not a young pup anymore. But they offered me another job. I took it, and things worked out. I didn't want to learn a new job, but when you need a job, you'll do just about anything, right? But not drinking for a long period of time before something tragic or just emotionally wrenching and very upsetting and substantial that happens in your life, it makes a big difference in how you react and respond to these situations. Something as terrible as a death, will get a lot of people to turn to alcohol. You know, it's a good way to drown your sorrows, right? But the problem with that is that when you start drinking again, or when you drink, sorry, and you wake up in the morning, those emotions are worse than if you hadn't been drinking. When I get up in the morning, I have a bit of a gut ache still. You know, I cared for the guy, and you know, the hurt is there, and I see my son, his grandson, my son, who's upset, and I just talked to him tonight about the funeral, and but it's easier without the drugs. Your brain, your body, everything just functions that much better, and I wish I could come up with some wise wording on, you know, something just huge just to tell you that'll, you know, maybe get a light to switch on for you so that it helps you cope and or quit or deal with situations that come up going forward. But it's just as simple as not drinking, and your mind, you're just better focused, clear-minded. You don't have the anxiety that you usually have when you drink alcohol and all of those bad things. It's just easier to handle life. And so if you ever needed a reason to quit alcohol or drugs, being able to cope with life is so much easier without them. I guarantee you, I don't care who you are, how bad a shape you're in, if you give it a chance and you go for 4+ months, when things start coming up, you're going to be able, the pressures of life, you're going to be able to deal with them much better. I've done it. I've been the one that, you know, as soon as I'm upset about something, I went through it, my first divorce, my divorce, my first wife. And every time my daughter would leave after the weekend, I'd hit the liquor store and buy some beer or whiskey and get drunk. I wish I hadn't done that. You know, that really messes up your body and your life and your thinking. You know, it's not a good way to cope. It's not the best way to cope. So I have to say that this experience, I considered having a drink at the funeral this coming Saturday just to get me through, so I'm not all teary-eyed, but it's no way to do. I'm not doing that. Because then I'm just giving in to the drug again, right? It's just stupid. I'm just going to deal with it. I'm going to experience the emotions, and I'm going to work through them, and I'm going to triumph the terrible situation that it is, and keep moving forward in life. And I want to be a good example to my family. You know, and this is how I'm doing it. So I'm going to go. This rambling on has been lasting too long. So have a great day. If you've watched this far into the video, I really appreciate that. And I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.